Well, welcome back, and I'm excited to get to be with you today and talk to you a little bit today on Vena Teaches. And I really waffled back and forth of whether I was going to um, drop a show yesterday or wait and drop it today. And I have a reason why I waited till today. Let's talk about September 11th. I just had my students on Friday. We discussed, and I told them where I was on the attacks of September 11th. I was in a faculty meeting of sorts. I was with my team of eighth grade teachers, and we start the day with a team meeting, and the news came across, and I remember the lesson, the biggest shock of that day, along with everything else, the slow burn reality that shook me from my world of feeling protected and that we were loved, and that everyone loves America, and how could you not love America? And I had to realize that there are people that don't love America, and there's people that hate America simply because we are free. We have liberties and we have freedoms and we have rights. And with those rights, I'm big about responsibility too. But that was the foundation that was shaken on that day for me. And so when we look at all of the news stories and everybody talking about their experience with 9/11 and where they were and what happened and with the towers and everything else, I have to say that after the shock of the 24 hours after the initial attacks, that although I will never forget September 11th, 2001, I want you to know that my hope for this country is September 12th, 2001. And why is that? Why is September 12th where we need to aim and where we need to hope for? The hope lies in that on September 12th, there were no Democrats, there were no Republicans, there were no liberals, there were no conservatives, there were no black, brown, white, there were no Christians, there were no Jews, there were no Buddhists, there were no agnostics, there were just Americans. There was no one protesting the flag. There was no one burning the flag except for the people who calculated this evil deed over in another country. We were singing God Bless America shoulder to shoulder, American to American, hanging out our flags, cheering for one another, crying with one another, trying to deal with this attack with one another as one family, one group. See, if you look at America like a family, families don't always get along. There's always two different personalities, three different personalities, four different personalities, but aren't we still a family? I choose the hope of the 12th because let me put it to you this way, even if you are not I sometimes have a little bit of a Pollyanna spirit where I want to believe that everybody's wonderful. But even if you don't want to have the power of September 12th, 2001, let me tell you why it's important to go back and look at that day. You see, people hate us. People don't love us, and that's because we're free, just like I said earlier. And here's what the people who hate the United States, let me tell you what they're doing right now. They're rejoicing. They're rejoicing. And let me tell you why. They're rejoicing because we are so busy attacking one another. we are so busy calling out one another, hating one another for your belief, my belief, that we're not ready. We're not ready. We are attacking each other so much that we are going to be roused again, I'm afraid, by people who are going to take advantage of this vulnerability, because that's what it is. It's a vulnerability to attack one another and be as divisive as we are right now, today, in this country. Am I talking about differing opinions? No, that's what makes America great. We're just now finishing studying the American Revolution. You don't think there were some differing opinions there? Of course there were. But we came together as a country on September 12th, 2001, and I know that I'm choosing the hope of the 12th, because if we do not get a hold of these runaway feelings of hate and divisiveness and lack of tolerance for anyone who does not think exactly like we do or you do, then we are opening ourselves up for another tragedy, which is just huge in nature. Because the people who died that day, the people in the towers, they were every religion, every race, every color, every creed, trying to live the American dream. Every person that ran to the towers, up the towers, protecting those people, like I said, they're the ones protecting the American dream. For the people who were sent overseas to Afghanistan to hunt down these evil, evil people who want to do us harm, they are the heroes and protectors again of the American dream. And they are every color, every race, every creed, every religion, every background. The American soldier. Men, women, Christians, Jews, Hindus, Buddhists, agnostics, atheists, black, white, brown, to protect our freedoms here, to go after the people, fight over there so it doesn't come back over here. You know, when we got to Afghanistan, we didn't want to go to Afghanistan. Nobody ever imagined we'd be going into Afghanistan. But what we did when we got there is we saw the people, the beautiful Afghani people, these precious girls. And we decided while we were there, we were going to make someone's life better. I look at my daughter, I look at her friends, I look at the young girls that I teach now, and their ages are, middle school, upper middle school, and I look at them and I think about girls their age that are in Afghanistan now, who have known nothing but school and some freedoms and planning a career, or maybe going to college, or dreaming about their wedding one day, because they know nothing but more freedom. And now that's gone. And you might say, well, no, that's not what they said. That's not what they said. It's coming. It's coming, guys. After all that work and all that time and all the blood and all the treasure, I tell my students every day almost, there's two languages everybody in the world understands, and the two languages are blood and treasure. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter how long ago. from the beginning on time until the end of time. Blood and treasure are the two languages that everybody comprehends and understands. And we have spent that over in Afghanistan to find the people who did this to our country, make them pay. But while we were there, we did a lot of good to protect these people from the bullies that are there. And it sickens and saddens me what might and is going, it's not might, to happen to these beautiful people in Afghanistan. Our freedom and our joy in life every day should not be partisan. Liberals should be happy. Conservatives should be happy. Democrats should be happy. Republicans should be happy because we live in America. Okay? Our country's not built on hatred. It's built on liberty and freedom. And I know not everybody was free. Oh, I know that. Are we perfect? No. Oh my goodness. No, we're not. Do we have work to do? Absolutely. But like I tell my students, I'm going to tell you too. I'm not talking about the tragedies of losing someone we love or the illness of, having a family member very sick or something tragic. I'm taking that aside. But our most annoying, frustrating, bothersome day where someone is not understanding us or someone gets offended by something we say, or I'm a little bit offended by what they said, are annoying, bad, frustrating, confusing days here. Some of our hardest days in America are a lot of people's best days in their country. Listen, people aren't banging down the doors, fleeing bad folks and saying, God, if I could just get to Russia, oh, things will be, oh, yeah, let's knock down the doors and go on into North Korea. That'd be a great place to go. Nobody's going anywhere like that, guys. They want to come here. They want to come here because you can come to America with your pockets full of a bunch of nothing and work hard enough, maybe a little luck, but the tools are here. Have the tools adequately been placed for everybody at all times of every color, every gender since the beginning of the United States? No. No, they haven't. But are we a work in progress? Are we trying? Are we doing our best to get better? Absolutely. I see that. Okay. So I'm choosing the hope of September 12th, 2001, because unless we can steady the ship in the seas of anger and hatred and hostility, then our ship is ripe to sink. And we cannot let that happen. Everyone's got to do their part. I hope you have a great week. Coming back at the end of the week with a little bit more lighthearted fare, but this is just something on my heart. You could agree, don't agree. That's fine. That we're, like I said, we're in America. It's okay. So remember, I hope that you see the hope of September 12th, 2001. Don't let that day go by. You're doing a disservice to those who lost their lives on the 11th and thereafter for the 20 years we've been fighting. So this doesn't come back over. What's the purpose in blood and treasure over in Afghanistan if we do our own selves in? Okay, that's my final thought with you today. I will see you at the end of the week, and I hope you have a good one. Choose the hope of the 12th. Choose the hope of September 12th. Have a good night.